Hello again, YouTube. It's Skylar. Welcome back to my face. And in today's video, I'm going to be discussing what internalized transphobia is. Now, in our culture, with LGBT people, there have been instances where people who are homophobic, there is some scientific data that shows that they're externalizing their internal struggles with their own identity. Now, when it comes to transgender people, this can also sometimes be the case. However, most of the time, instead of appearing prior to transitioning, it can occur after transitioning. And I'm just going to go into a little detail on what that means. So, when you are told that what you are is not okay, and you've had enough people tell you that over a long enough period of time, the sad thing is that you start to internalize that hatred and start to believe it towards yourself as well. And I've seen this happen with a few people, and it's very disheartening because I really feel empathetic towards these people who have already suffered through so much, and then on top of that have basically stuffed the hatred of others within themselves to make themselves feel as inferior as possible for just being who they are. I'm not going to go into any specific examples. However, this can manifest itself in so many different ways. Some of them are specifically coming out against other trans people, belittling and dehumanizing other trans people, being vehemently against LGBT rights, and other really negative aspects that for people who are not transgender wouldn't understand unless they knew where all of this internal hatred is coming from. And what it is that it's people feeding negativity towards this individual who is then processing that information because they've been told that so many times that they start to believe that they are inferior, that they are less than worthy of being a human being. And my heart really goes out to these people. If you know someone who is transgender, who is struggling with accepting themselves for being who they are, make sure not to criticize them if they are trying to, if some of the statements that they say are venomous. It's not because they're necessarily against other trans people so much as they feel a deep shame or sadness for their situation when there's really no reasonable reason as to why they should be feeling that way unless someone else has made them feel that way. And this sort of internalized negativity isn't necessarily isolated to the transgender community. A lot of cisgender women can experience this as well, from other people belittling and dehumanizing them on a regular basis to the point that they actually begin to believe these negative things which are not true. So it's not specific to just trans women, but it is important to point out that it is something that has happened, and we need to make sure that we always are supportive of people through their transition and make sure that they are valid human beings, and that being transgender for the millionth time is just a natural variation of the human condition. As I've said in the first video that I made on this channel, it is not a mental disorder. Gender dysphoria is just a natural condition of someone not being the correct identity. It is not a disorder, and someone should not feel ashamed to be who they are, even if that person is transgender. So, with all that said, I hope that helps some people out there who may be a little curious on this subject. And until tomorrow's video, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video. Please remember to stay positive, and bye.